Alright, hello, this is Gsis Productions, and today we're with the ambassadors, and Gabe is here to provide some real-life insights about about this topic. So today we have the executive ambassador, Anant, and Gabe. So, thank you. Alright, so today we'll be talking about anti-bullying, and it's primarily to raise awareness about this issue. So, okay, let's get started. So, can you share some insights into the significance of this anti-bullying week and why, as a school, as Gsis, we should practice and keep in mind of this issue?
So obviously, bullying is like a prevalent issue that's been here for many years, and I think as society has evolved, we've sort of come to realize that bullying isn't really an answer to solutions, especially like there's like many types of bullying. There's physical bullying, there's verbal bullying, and a lot of these like they end up leading to undesirable outcomes for schools especially. And since schools are like a stepping stone for life, we want to like build good habits and build good like relationship skills. So yeah, that's why we want to advocate for anti-bullying.
Okay. One thing I want to ask you is, what are some like common misconceptions about bullying? You know, like, before this podcast, we were just talking about how students oftentimes, say things that they might not think that it's bullying, but to others it might be kind of offensive. So what are some like common misconceptions?
Right, so a lot of times when people think about bullying, they think about like punching each other, like what Gabe sort of does a lot, or just like making fun of people. But then a lot of times it's the small things that are more prevalent in like our school and many others as well. Because like sometimes I could say something as a joke to one of my friends, but like even within that joke there's like layers to it that might actually mean something, and like at the moment it may not mean much, but then once you keep doing it and like it adds up slowly, then it could possibly lead to bigger issues.
Okay. Have you experienced any bullying? Inkling you gave?
Maybe not bullying, but like I think we've all experienced like, you know, like little, not conflicts, but I think there's things where like people conflict and there's like smaller acts I think is what adds up to like hate and tension. So I think everyone's experienced that. So yeah, I think that's just like to keep in mind. Yeah.
How about you, Anant?
Yeah, I think like even I catch myself sometimes like maybe like a bad test grade or something, you know, you just like those type of things where like your friends sort of be like, oh, you got like a bad grade. And it's all in like fun and jokes at one point, but then like slowly you realize like there's like some actual like meaning to it, you know, and then you start feeling bad, and then that could be like a form of bullying that like none of you guys are aware of, but it's happening. And so it's just good to raise awareness for those type of things.
As the ambassador who is here to promote this issue, do you for students at our school who might be experiencing bullying, do you have any like strategies or ways for them to tackle this issue? Because it's very hard for students who get bullied every time, who are afraid of talking about it to a person. So do you have any suggestions or ideas on how they can alleviate the situation, like get better? Yeah.
I think, yeah, first of all, it's really brave for a person to sort of come to like the sense that they're getting bullied, because a lot of times like we don't want to really admit that we're getting bullied, you know, we want to feel like stronger, and it takes like a huge toll on our pride and ego to sort of come to that confrontation that we're being bullied. And so it's really brave of them to like even reach that step, and then in order to like how they can possibly, you know, change that, it's possibly like just talking to people or understanding like what's causing the situation and making like the small steps to make it better, or even talk to the people. And I think that it's just like a lot of communication is involved for it. Yeah.
Okay. Another question is, what roles do you think other students who might be a witness of bullying, what should their do you have any suggestion on what should they be doing? Like many people, I feel like oftentimes witness, but they're afraid to kind of stand up for the person who's getting bullied. So as the ambassador, can you say anything about that?
Yeah, I think a lot of times when you witness a situation and you realize like what's going on definitely isn't right, or and like a lot of times you see it from a perspective that the others like that are involved in the situation are not seeing it, right? You see it as a negative where other people think it might be okay. I think in that situation it's definitely right, or it could be right to sort of address it, like rather than directly, maybe try to understand more about the situation, why it's happening in that way, and what possible like because especially from a bystander's point of view, right? Because you're not the one doing the bullying, so you're not in the wrong if you're not taking any action per se. But then I feel like even just like allowing that to happen while you're aware of what's going on like wrong, I think that could possibly lead to bigger issues as well. So, yeah.
Another question I want to ask you is, with ambassadors and SCA, I feel like our common goal is to promote unity among students, especially with new students or other students who might be feeling left out. Do you have any ways you think we can foster a greater sense of unity to a point where our school can kind of limit those bullying incidents and like foster a stronger sense of community, I guess? Do you have any ideas in mind with ambassadors?
I mean, yeah, like I've been an ambassador for new students since 9th grade, right? But personally, like I've never really felt what it's like to be a new student. It's like, Gabe, you want to like talk about how you like felt when you entered the school and stuff?
For me personally, like when I came at the beginning of 9th grade, right? And honestly, it was a little hard at first, especially I think with guys more. I think it's maybe harder to like make new friends per se, because like I feel like it's harder for like guys to like be more open or like like be more welcoming.
Yeah.
So it was a little hard, but I think finding things that you're like passionate or like things that like make you or like that you're good at, right? For example, common interests, and just like pursuing your passions. Like for me, like I started playing sports and that's how I kind of made friends and stuff like that. So yeah. But I think just being friendly to everyone, especially with new students coming in. We're getting a lot of new students, so I think it's important to just be friendly,
Do you just want to quickly talk about the anti-bullying day that's coming up next week, and like the pink shirts that we're gonna wear? Can you briefly talk about it and what it kind of represents?
Right. So, although pink has been more commonly known for breast cancer awareness, recently, like many schools have started developing like a sort of color, like whether it be like baby blue or pink, just to sort of like represent anti-bullying. And it's rather than like the color and like the significance of the color itself, it's about the representation. We can associate any color with anything. It's just about like who shows up, and it's about like really just standing up for your beliefs and your values. So I think rather than focusing on the color, it's about like the meaning behind what we're all doing. And if we all wear pink, it just show that sense of unity that we're trying to foster in this community. So, yeah.
Okay. One thing I've noticed is with students using more technology with social media and stuff like that, I feel like bullying is not only present in school itself, but also in online. And I feel like many students may be experiencing it through online, like Instagram, social media, stuff like that. Do you have any ways for them to kind of like get out of those situations? Because like you might feel like you're just by yourself, because all the hatred is towards on you. So do you have any suggestions as a master's?
And I think like one of the biggest things about social media, like I've always found it odd that people can sort of like feel bad about getting bullied on media, because thing is, with technology, at least like what technology you have, like my phone right now, I have the option to turn it off, or like if I'm in Instagram chat, I can just like sort of leave it. And like online bullying, like although it's a big issue, a lot of times we sort of seek attention online or try to like do things online, and therefore it can be a result of our actions that like lead to us bullying or us getting bullied. But a lot of times it's about like taking a break from social media that could possibly resolve that situation. And if for some reason maybe you have to use social media to communicate and you're getting bullied, like nowadays Instagram, Snapchat, they all have like these report systems, right? And although they may not be like immediately effective, like you're able to feel a lot safer in these communities while using those apps.
Okay. for our viewers, I believe it's many people watch it, including teachers. So I was wondering if you have any suggestions or recommendations for teachers on how they could possibly act if they witness a student getting bullied or stuff like that. Like what role can the teacher play in that kind of situation, and how can they kind of help?
So, right, like once, as I said before, like for students especially, it's really hard to come to the sense that they're getting bullied, and they can't reach out to people, like even like to your parents. Like it's really hard to like admit to your parents. Like it's embarrassing in some way, you know, for some students to admit that they're getting bullied, and but if the teacher like sees that, or if anybody, even the bystander, like you said before, if anybody witnesses it, they can always act as a sort of like outlet or like a way of communication to like just talk about the issue and maybe like go through those steps that could resolve the issue altogether. So, yeah.
And I feel like our school is kind of dealing with bullying quite well. I haven't witnessed too much like my previous schools where I did witness a lot, and I feel like since our school is like a Christian school, maybe that's part of the reason why we're more aware, we're more kind of supportive, and more trying to make this a better community. So maybe on a have you guys ever witnessed bullying in our school, or?
I think not like major acts of bullying. I don't think I've seen, because like we haven't seen like brawls or anything like that. So that's why I agree. Like I think our school is like pretty good at like, you know, having a stronger sense of community. But I think, as Anand said, like maybe the smaller forms of maybe not bullying, but like microaggressions and things like that. Like definitely, because I mean it's hard to stop. It's like that's human nature, you know.
That's true.
So yeah.
Same.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Yeah,
Yes.
like a lot of the bullying that happens in our school, like the people that are bullying and the people that are getting bullied, they don't even know about it. So it's really hard to like categorize as bullying. But I think it's important that we do become aware that it is a form of bullying. It is a form of bullying.
Okay. So yeah, I think to wrap this up, I just wanted to ask if you guys want to say anything else with ambassadors, maybe anything other than anti-bullying, any events upcoming. You can also talk about it. Just pretty much anything.
Yeah, so if you guys have seen on the stairwells recently, we've had our messages been coming up. Like while you're walking up the stairs, it's just like words of encouragement. I think we also have like morning announcements every morning during the anti-bullying week. So that'll be one thing to look forward to, and just like listen to the small messages. Shouldn't be too long and could prove beneficial to your day. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so thank you for your guys' time, and yeah, thank you. This was Ambassador, Executive Anant, and Gabe. So thank you.